Hi, everybody. Here's part 2 of Conversation 2, Loving Ourselves. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. So let us begin. Welcome to 9 Minutes with Nefertiti.
So let me tell you what happened. Calling it as I see it a long time ago sounded like your family is poor. You're not smart. You're fat. Somebody else can do this better than you can. That was my self-talk. That's what I said to myself in those moments where I was not at my best. And when I told myself these things, you know what happened? I began to seek into a deeper, darker, yuckier place of despair. That's what happened. When I called it as I saw it, that's what happened. Deeper levels of depression, lower levels of self-esteem, and when you're an adolescent, that's not a good place to be in. And so, once again, my mom was really good at helping to build me up, build us up, my brother and I as well. But she wasn't a pitier. Like, she didn't pity me. She didn't go, oh, Nefertiti. No. She didn't do it like that. She worked to build me up, not self-pity. So with my mom's support, along with going back to my relationship with God, those two things helped me get to a place where I started to grow better in self-love. When I sought God, when I went back to my relationship with Him, calling it as I see it turned around. Because through prayer and reading, I focus on the psalmist David in Psalms 139:14, where he says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Oh, I love those words. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Calling it as I see it went from that yucky negative place to knowing that God doesn't make a mess. And that I am to remember that I am wonderfully made in His image, and for that I know full well. And so there are moments of self-doubt that I sometimes have. Self-doubt, but self-doubt is a human reaction. It's normal, it's okay. And it's moments of self-doubt, not self-hatred or not loving myself. Just moments of self-doubt, and I get over it. I just recite Psalms 139:14. I praise you because I am wonderfully and fearfully made. Your works are wonderful, and I am one of your works. And for that, I know for sure. Now, that's something that helps me when I start to feel feelings of self-doubt. Self-love, I'm a lot better with because it's taken some time. But if I can cut it off, shave it off, make it bigger, make it smaller, or any of those things that some people do for cosmetic surgery, I'm just learning to love it just the way it is. I call it as I see it. It is wonderful and it is wonderfully made because it has been made by God. So don't forget this too. Loving yourself has nothing to do with your body type, the color of your hair, how long it is, how short it is, how tall you are, how short you are. That really has nothing to do with self-love and loving yourself. There are some beautiful people on the outside who do not like themselves. Have you ever met a person like that? Appears beautiful on the outside, but they don't love themselves. And how do you know they don't love themselves? By their actions, by their behaviors. Watch them. Because people who love themselves are not judgmental, sarcastic, angry, or self-righteous. They're not that way towards themselves, and they're certainly not that way towards other people. So be careful of that. Think about that until we have a chance to talk again. People who love themselves are not sarcastic and angry and spiteful. That's not love. And oftentimes when someone demonstrates that, for me, it's an indication that they may lack some of their own self-love. But we'll continue that conversation in conversation number 3. So, what do you think? I always like to pause to give you a moment to reflect with me about this particular conversation. Remember to call it as you see it. And if for any reason what you are calling yourself, your body, your mind, your thoughts, if for any reason you find it to be negative, turn it around. And remember to go back to your first love, which is God. And remember Psalms 139. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, and that I know full well. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's our conversation for today. Again, I hope I gave you something to think about. I could take 12 more conversations and elaborate more on loving yourself. And if that's something that you would like to see happen, let me know. Make a comment down below on our YouTube page. Reach out to me on my email, on the contact page, on the 9 Minutes with Nefertiti website. Above all, keep talking, keep sharing, and I thank you so much for joining me in this effort. I wish you a rest of a great evening or a great day, depending upon which time you're tuning in. Thank you. See you next time in conversation number 3.